Good morning, everyone. It's Christine. It's Friday. Yay! So anyways, I have a really funny story. Yesterday we had water day, and during water day, sometimes things just don't go as it plans. So we actually had sometimes the kids don't bring towels or stuff, or their clothes get wet. So we have backup clothes and we change our kids into backup clothes. Well, yesterday afternoon, we have a pet at the daycare center, but it's not an indoor pet. It's not a pet that we have to register through licensing. Our pet runs around the outside of my playground all the time and does crazy stuff. And yesterday, our pet decided to do something really ridiculous. So my employee came in and I took her nap and I'm like, hey, go to lunch. So she goes to lunch, and the next thing you know, she says, hey, you know so-and-so's clothes, they're super wet. And I said, yeah. And she's like, can I hang them on the fence? And I was like, sure, hang them on the fence. We never have problems. We always hang clothes on the fence to dry. And we change the kids back out when they dry and stuff. And so anyways, she went to lunch and she drove up and she about died because our pet, that's not our pet, was running away with a sock of one of the daycare kids. So the kid now has one sock because my employee comes into the building and she's like, Christine, we have a problem. And I'm like, what? And she's like, the squirrel took the sock. And I'm like, what? And she's like, the squirrel took the sock. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, I was driving back from lunch and I just pulled into the parking lot and the squirrel's running across the top of the fence, taking the sock. And I start laughing and I'm like, she goes, I don't want to tell the parent. And I'm like, I'll tell the parent. But this is ridiculous because now I don't think the parent's going to believe us that the squirrel stole the sock. So one of our daycare kids decided to call this squirrel. We named the squirrel yesterday. The after schooler, he's like, it's Very Scary Gary. So now we have a squirrel named Very Scary Gary. Our squirrel's been around for a while. Our squirrel has done crazy stuff. I think this one takes the cake because now I have to talk to my parents and I have to tell this parent that the squirrel stole her son's sock. And so anyways, I did that last night and I felt ridiculous. I was like, okay, so I have to tell you, we have this squirrel and the squirrel has been around for a while, but we thought it was gone. And the squirrel sometimes comes around and it stole your son's sock. And my parent just started laughing. And I said, I will replace your son's socks. And she's like, it's okay. We have plenty of socks at home. But we did. The squirrel stole the sock. So sometimes stuff happens at the daycare centers I never planned on happening. Like yesterday, I think we laughed so hard because of the squirrel. But this is the same squirrel. Months ago, my staff member threw her trash into the big bin outside, and the squirrel jumped out, hit her chest, and bounced off of her. And I was so bummed because my cameras weren't on that dumpster. I wish it had been to watch the squirrel bounce off my employee. So this is the same employee watched the squirrel steal the sock. So, and then a couple days ago, my other employee is like, yeah, that squirrel stared me down standing on top of that dumpster. She goes, I was afraid to get out of my truck. So she finally gets out of her truck. The squirrel went and hid behind the telephone pole and stared her all the way into the building. We laugh about it and stuff, but sometimes things happen that we don't expect. I mean, who would have thought we'd have a Very Scary Gary squirrel steal a sock from one of our daycare kids off the fence? So do you ever have crazy stuff that happens that's out of your control that you never planned on? Because I think yesterday we laughed the most we had ever laughed about this squirrel stealing a kid's sock. But anyways, I hope that's a fun day for you guys. Yesterday was crazy. I even had the staff look up to see if it was a full moon. I mean, between water day and everything and the squirrel stealing the sock and the kids thinking it was funny and stuff, it was crazy, but we did look it up and yeah, we're on our way to a full moon. So I'm so excited about that. I think all of us providers sometimes, we're like, oh no, it's a full moon, but I think sometimes we could create the environment too and make it better. But anyways, I hope you all have a great day. I put my camera different, so I'm not used to where I'm looking at. Hi, Natasha. How are you today? Hi, Leslie. Thanks for watching. Anyways, I have to get going, but you all have a great weekend and I'll see you Monday. Bye.